All right, all right, all right, all right. So, all right, all right, all right, all right. All right, so when you guys are ready, waiting for you guys to come in, then we can kick off. All right. What's my stance on 9/11? Hi, Katrina, welcome. So, we're getting set for music lessons. What's your stance on 9/11? What does that mean? Welcome, Matthias. Welcome in. We're getting ready for music lessons. So, type in the comments where exactly are you watching from? Where are you watching from? Type where are you watching from? All right, so where are you watching from? What do you mean, tone 1629? What's your stance on 9/11? What do you mean by your stance on 9/11? All right. exactly where you're watching from. So when you guys are ready, then we're going to move on, all right? So hi, trendy treats. How are you doing? Thank you so much. That's good to know you're doing good. Do you play any instrument? Trendy treats? Oh, that's great. What instrument do you play? Piano. Okay, great, great. So, do you also read music as well? Do you read music? Or you just play a bit of piano? Okay. So let me know, do you have any question? Skin flute. Oh, skin flute. I've never heard of that before. All right, no worries, no worries. Trendy treats. Do have a wonderful one. Skin flute. Okay. Never heard that before. So let's see. Let's have some vibe going on. Let's get some vibe going on. much. Welcome, Emily Hunter. How you doing? Thank you so much, Curtis Knight. How you doing? Curtis, thank you so much. Hi, how you doing? Where are you watching from? Do you also play an instrument as well? Alright, so how many people are around now? Let's see how many people are ready. So if you're ready, then we can move on. Then you can also type the questions in the chat. Then I know exactly what we're going to be doing. And we can focus on that. Alright? Titanic. Alright, so today we're going to be doing my hat. Okay, so today we're actually just doing music lessons today. So basically it's going to be music lessons questions. So if you're trying to learn anything, then we can focus on that. Alright? So today's music lesson day. So you can make it better. You said my voice is very low. Okay. So I was saying, if you have a question, so basically today we're just doing music lessons questions. So if you ask a question, something you can learn musically, alright? So we can focus on that. Can you hear me now? How you doing? Bessie Martinez, welcome. All right, so give me a second. Let me just quickly set this up. Then we can look at that. All right, so Marlon Joseph said, I love the keyboards, but I'm not very proficient at it. How often do I have to play to at least be good? You recommend some training guides. So before we get into any training guide whatsoever, there's certain things at least you should know. So because playing is not enough, there's certain basic things I think you should know first, because that's going to help you ease the workload. All right, so that's going to help you ease the workload. So here's my question, because the first question will be, how many keys do you know how to play? How many keys do you know how to play on? How many keys do you know how to play on? So we're going to be starting with that, because once we have an idea of what you know and where you're coming from, then we can decide where to start up, where to start helping you from, if that makes sense. And basically an amateur, I just play by ear, no formal training. All right. So, let's see. All right. So, okay. So here's the thing. Do you know your scales? Do you know your scales? do you know your scales? Okay, so which of the scales do you know? Now let's look at the basic things, just your major scale. Let's not make it more complicated than it is. Hi Adam Labore, how are you doing? So which scales do you know? So we're just talking about basic scales, like your major scale. Welcome Adam. Okay, Buddy Micah is here. I know how to play C major, A major, and D major. Yes, I know my scale. Okay, so we're going to start from there. We're going to start from there because that's your foundation. That's your foundation. So, okay, which scale do you know, Marlon? Which scale do you know, Marlon? So let's know which scale do you know, Marlon? So we have Adam. Adam, what instrument do you play as? Do you play an instrument? Okay, you said no formal training, but you mentioned that you play the scale, so that's why I'm asking you, because if you don't know any scale, then you can just say, I don't know any scale. So that's a different thing entirely. But if you said I know a scale, then I have to find out which scale you know. So I was just working based on your response, so if that makes sense. So let's look at this now. Okay, you don't know. Okay, that makes sense. So let's look at this now. So I'm going to show you the best way and a trick that is going to help you learn your skills. You understand? So knowing the skills and also being able to play that, those are two different things entirely. Alright? So, but when it comes to knowing your skill, we're going to look at that. So let's look at so the first thing you want to remember are your first 7 letters of the alphabet. So that's the first thing you want to remember. It is your A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Alright? So that's the first thing you want to take note of. Then take note that this alphabet can go ascending. So you can go this way or you can go descending this way. That's the next thing you want to be aware of. So you can go ascending, you can also go descending. So another thing to pay attention to is, so remember we said the first thing is take note of the 7 letters of the alphabet. Seven letters of the alphabet. Then the next thing is know that it can go, those letters can go ascending or descending. So another thing to take note of is once you get to G, you have to go back to A again. So basically after G, what you have is A. So you go back to A. So it's more like you're repeating this in circles. So you're repeating this in circles. So you want to learn to go A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Then if you're coming back, what you can do, you can cram this one, which is going to be G, fed. Then you use C, B, A. So I want you to learn to say that. So say that repeatedly. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. At least you know how to say that one right from childhood. So now you also want to learn to go back down, which is G, fed. G, fed. Remember, you must say G, fed, C, B, A. G, fed, C, B, A. So that helps you to quickly know how to go up and go back down. Alright, so let me be sure you understand what I'm saying so far, because we're going to use that application now to build the scale. So if you understand what I've told you so far, type that in the comments. If you understand what I said so far and you're with me, type that in the comments. Alright, so great. So let's come here. So the next thing you want to take note is, alright, great. Welcome Jeff Bragg. Welcome Jeff Bragg. So the next thing you want to take note is if we have A, B, C, D, E, F, G. And let's just add an A to it, alright? So here you need to take note that in between these notes and in between these notes, you want to take note that there is no note in between these two notes and in between these two notes. Now, in between A and B, there is a note. Alright? There is a note. So in between here, there is no note. In between here, there is a note. In between here, E, D and E, there is a note. In between E and F, there is no note. But in between F and G, there is a note. And in between G and A, there is a note. So I'll say that again so you understand where we are currently. In between A and B, there is a note. In between B and C, there is no note in between. In between C and D, there is a note. In between D and E, there is a note. In between E and F, there is no note. In between F and G, there is a note. In between G and A, there is a note. So when I say there is a note, it means there is a note, but we did not mention that note. But in between B and C, there is no notes. So let me be sure you understand so far. Type that in the comments. And don't forget, if you get confused somewhere, type that in the comments so that I know wherever it's being confusing, then I can explain that properly. All right, you understand? Woody Michael understands. What about Marlon? Okay, Marlon understands. All right, so if you're also learning alongside as well, Jeff, you can also type in the comment, and I know I'll probably be answering your question as well. So that's all we need to know. So now let's make it very plain. It means what we have basically said here is we have A, so that represents the notes. Then we have B. So immediately after B, we are going to C because there's no note in between. So from C to D, there is a note. D to E, there is a note. E goes straight to F. Then F to G, there is a note. And G to A, there is a note. So basically G brings us back to the same A. So we can choose to either take this one out, all right, so that you know it comes back to the beginning again. So now, what you need to look out for is this note. You see this one? This note. That's what you need to look out for. B and E. So it means that anytime you get to B, you know that you just go straight to the next alphabet. And anytime you get to E, you go straight to the next alphabet. So what are you looking out for? B, which is this and this. So remember this. Anytime you get to any of this letter, it moves straight to the alphabet. So if you understand, I'll ask you a question. So when you get to B, do you have a space or you don't have a space? Let me know. Type that in the comments. When you get to B, do you have a space after B, or do you move straight to the next alphabet? Do you have a space or you don't have a space? Type that in the comments. No space. All right. So very, very important. Very, very important. So no space. You move straight to the next alphabet. Yes. So remember that, because that's all we need to learn the other scales. So let's clean this up. So if you also notice, that is, if you can picture your keyboard, if you have your keyboard in front of you as well, that can help you realize that, because if you look in between B and C, you see B and C, there is no black key in between. As you can see, there is no black key in between B and C. And if you go to E and F, there's also no black key in between. So that's what we mean by there's no note in between. If you look at C and D, there is a black key. So that's the note we're referring to. D and E, there is a note. So that's the note we're referring to. Now look at F and G. there is a note. That's the note we're referring to. Look at G and A, there's a note. That's the note we're referring to. Then A and B, there's a note. That's the note we're referring to. So let me know if that makes sense to you now. Type that in the comments if that makes sense to you now. Alright, type that in the comments if that makes sense. Okay, it makes sense now. Alright. So, Marlon, are you with us? That makes sense? Alright, yes it does. Alright, great. So now, what we want to look out now for is this. Let's look at the first, the scale for C. Let's look at the scale for C. So we'll use this principle and follow it. So here we have C, D, E, F, G, A, B, then back to C. So this is the scale, the major scale for your C. So this is your C major scale, alright? C major scale. So let's try to understand how this was formed. Remember, if you look at how this is already formed, we just want to use this same formation to create another one. So we use the same formation to create another one. So look at C and D. So if you notice in between C and D, there is a note. So anytime we have a note that has a space before the next note, we are going to call that a tone. We're going to call that a tone. A tone or whole step. It could be called a whole step. It can also be called whole tone, or we can just say whole steps. Whole step is much more popular. So let me know if that makes sense to you now. So it means anytime we want to get a whole step, we start from any note, just jump one and take the next. That's how you get a tone or a whole step. So type that in the comment if that makes sense. So since we have all the notes now, so to get a whole step, all we need to do is just look for the alphabet, then jump and take the next. Alright? Alright, that makes sense. Alright, great. So Marlon, so let's know if you're also with me. So let's know if you're also here, Marlon. So as you can see, C to D. So what happened was C to D. C, we skipped this and we took this. So look at the formation of this, D and E. So from D, this was skipped and we got the E. So here is also a tone. Alright? Then if we look at E and F, look at E and F. E moves straight to F. So that one will be called a semitone. So we call that a semitone. So semi means half. So it's half of a tone. Or you can say half step. So it means a half step is basically just you trying to identify a distance from a particular note to the immediate next note. So, and it could be a half step going forward or a half step coming back down. So, for instance, if I say a half step from E will be F, but if I said a half step down from E, it will come here. Alright? So take note, we've not talked about what the name of this note is. We've not talked about what the names of those notes are. So before we get into anything, we have to talk about what those notes really are. So in order for you to know the names of these notes, we need to introduce what is called sharp, or flat. That's how we get to this other one. So but before we get into that, let's finish this up. So F to G is what? Is it a tone or a semitone? F to G. F to G, what is it? A tone or a semitone? So you can do everything. Tell me the distance from F to G. Tell me the distance from G to A. Tell me the distance from A to B. And tell me the distance from B to C. So you can type that in the comment. Let's be sure you are following. So type that in the comments. Alright, that's a tone. F to G is a tone. Because F to G, you skip this and take this. So G to A. G to A. C to D. No, we're not on C to D, we are on G to A. Okay, so G to A is not a semitone. So this should be your this should be your formula here. So use this as your formula. Right? So G to A, remember from G you will skip this note before you get to A. So if we write A, we are going to write A here, if that makes sense. So if we look at G, we skip this one, then you will get to A. Yes, so that's also a tone. So G to A is a tone. Then A to B. Yes, Marlon. So A to B is what? So you need to use this as your formula. So A to B. So what is that? Yes, A to B is a tone. So if you look at that A, you skip this one and take B. So every time you skip a note before you see the alphabet, that makes it a tone. So basically a tone means from a particular alphabet, jump one and take the next, if that makes sense. Yeah. So then B to C. So you look here, B to C. So what is that? B to C. So B to C, what do we have? B to C. Semitone, correct. Because here, if you notice, we did not jump any notes. So if you notice here, we did not jump any notes. So that's why it's a semitone, if that makes sense. So that's a semitone. So now, this is your formula to build your scale. So if you look at it, you have tone, tone, semitone. Then we have tone, 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 semitone. Yes, I'm glad you got it now, Marlon. So some people will call it whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, half step. So you don't need to call it a tone. So it all depends on what language you use most of the time. So in America, most people say whole tone or whole step, half step, whole step, half step. So maybe in the UK they might be saying tone, tone, semitone, tone, 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 semitone, and most African countries use tone, semitone. So let me be sure now you understand how far we've gotten now so far. Let me be sure you understand so far. So if you understand how far we've gone, type that in the comments. All right, great. So now I'm going to try you. I'll give you an example if you want to do another scale. If you want to do another scale. So all you need to do, so let's, so remember what we need is tone, tone, semitone, then tone, 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 semitone. Alright, so remember that's what we need. Right now we're actually just doing music lessons. Ashon Bentley. Alright, so you can also sit back and listen and learn alongside as well. So we're doing music lessons right now. Alright, so now if you want to do the scale for, let's say the scale for G, for instance, the first thing you want to do is write, or let's use the scale for B. Okay, before we get into all those scales, let's give names to these other ones. Remember we're talking about sharp and the flat. So let's give names to this empty space. So all you need to do to give names to this empty space is make use of this sharp. So sharp, so to use the sharp, you take the alphabet forward. That's just a summary of how you use your sharp. So basically, it can also be said to that the sharp will take the pitch of the note higher by a semitone. But I don't want to use all those English because you're not used to all those things. It just makes things more complicated than it should be. So all you simply you're doing is just when you introduce the sharp, you will take the alphabet to the next note. So in this case, we have A here. So when you use a sharp on A, it will come here as A sharp. As simple as that. It will just take it to the next note. So the same thing, this is C. So we'll bring C forward and add a sharp to it. It's that simple. You see D, we'll bring it forward here and add D sharp. Then you see this one, F, we'll bring it forward. So what would that be when we bring it forward? type in the comments. Let me be sure you are following. When we bring F forward, what does it become? When we bring F forward, what does it become? F sharp, correct. So that's all. Then when we bring G forward, the same thing. It becomes G sharp. Alright, so remember, for the sharp, you're just bringing the alphabet forward. That's all you need to remember. Don't make it more complicated than it should be. So, let me take this out, because I want us to make it practical now. Let's make it practical now. So here, let's say we have this. We have this. And let's see, we have this. We have this. We have this. So all right. So now, this is our keyboard. So we're going to start from this. Remember, this note is your C. So in case you don't know before, your two black keys, the white that comes before the two black keys is your C. Because if you look at your keyboard basically consists of, you'll notice we have two blacks that is repeating. If you notice, two black keys is just repeating itself all through. Then we also have three black keys repeating itself. So technically, the keyboard that we have is just, if you look at the white before these two black, that's where the keyboard starts. It starts from here till this point. So this is all we have. You see this? How many notes? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So the 12th note is all we have. So all those 12 notes are duplicated again. So they are the same. Alright? So this is your C. So the C is the white notes that comes before the group of two black keys. So let me be sure if you understand that so far before I move forward. So take note, I'm teaching you like you know nothing, so that we don't miss any information. Let me know if you understand so far. Alright, we got Booty Michael and Marlon. So let's be sure you understand so far. Hi, Emmanuel. How are you doing? Good afternoon. It's actually evening right here, depending on where you're watching from. So let's be sure you understand Marlon before we move on. Oh, you're good watching TV. That's great. That's great. All right, Marlon understands. So now remember, after C, we have to just remember the order of alphabets. All right. So A, B, C, D, E, F, G. So remember the order of the alphabet. So after C, the next alphabet will be D, followed by E, followed by F, followed by G. In this case, yes, this is training for piano. Yes. So in this case now we're starting from C. So the next will be D. So we are giving names to the white note first. Next will be D. Then after D, the next will be E. Then after E, the next will be F. So remember, we're only giving names to the white keys. Then after F, the next is G. So once we have got into G, we'll go back to the beginning again, which is from A. So after G, we come to A. Then after A, we get to B. So from A to B. Then after B, we're back to C. So what are we taking out of here? Basically, the alphabet goes A, B, C, D, E, F, G. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Would you suggest I label my keys or try to remember? Don't label your keys. Labeling your keys will limit you. So just make sure you follow what I'm teaching you now. So it will help you to master playing on any key without any difficulty. So once you understand this, so the first thing you want to remember is remember that your two black keys, the white key that comes before your two black keys is your C. So this C, two black keys, that's the first thing you want to remember. Two black keys. So white key that comes is your C. Then go back to what you learned as a baby. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. So you are repeating that over and over again. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. A, B, C, D. That's all you need. So once you get the first alphabet, knowing that it is the C, the white note that comes before the two black key is your C. Then use that concept now, which is A, B, C. D, you know that's the next alphabet. So that's how we got D. So technically it could feel like you are reading those alphabets, but you read the A and B in your head, then continue from the next. So I'll put A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Then back to A, B, C. So let me know if that makes sense so far. If that makes sense. So type that in the comment if you understand so far. All right, great. So let me see your name. The big crunk. So the big crunk, where are you watching from? All right, that makes sense. Goody Michael, and I see Marlon. Where are you watching from? Goody, the big crunk. And I guess you. Oh, is that Newcastle? Is that new? Or where's NC? I'm in Florida in the US. Where exactly are you? What's NC? Is it North Carolina? All right. Okay, got that. All right, great. So, welcome Music Records. You're welcome. So we're just helping people to learn music basics here. So now, once you understand that, the next thing you want to remember is your sharp and your flat. So this is your sharp, this is your sharp, and this is your flat. Okay, this is your sharp, and this is your flat. So how are you going to use this? When you use the sharp, all you are simply doing is bringing that alphabet to the next note. Now I want you to understand that in between, from this note, it goes straight to this black one. So you need to know the order. So if you have your piano there, if you start from C and you put your finger inward, you will notice that the way you move over the keys is you move like this, which is the C, then you move here, which is the black, then you move here, which is the white, then you move on the black, you move to the white, you move to the white, you move to the black, you move to the white, you move to the black, you move to the white, you move to the black, you move to the white, you move to the white. So you must understand that movement like that so that you will not miss the calculation. So sharp, what sharp does, it will take this note to the next note and become a sharp. That's all. So this note will come here and become C sharp. Because you see, this note moved to the next note, which is from this note to this next note. So if you look at that, from this note to this note. So don't make the mistake of moving from here to the white one, because it's from this note that moves to this black. So that's how we got C sharp. So now, let's also give names to this. We are using sharps now. So take this D now. This D will come here and become what? D sharp. So it's very simple. Just take that alphabet and move it up to the next note. So in this case, this is D. Then we move here, becomes D sharp. Alright? So type in the comment if that makes sense, if you are following so far. So type in the comment if that makes sense, you are following so far. Then we'll keep moving. Alright, you're following. Thank you so much, Verdika. Thank you so much for the jewels. Do appreciate that. Thank you so much. Alright, so Marlon is following. Buddy Michael is following. And welcome, Verdika. Thank you so much. So feel free, you want to make donations, you're free to do that. Alright. So let's keep moving on now. So F, we'll take F to this one. Alright? F will move you here. Please, F sharps. So remember, thank you so much, Vedika. So what we are doing is basically just moving that note forward. So if you notice, look for your F. And so if you come here, this is your F, then you move straight here as F sharp. Alright? If that makes sense. So this is G. Then tell me, what will this note be? Type that in the comments. What will this note be? Type that in the comments. Let's be sure you are following. Where exactly are you watching from, Vedika? Is that how you say your name? Welcome, Yusuf. I just want to ask, whether do we have C flat? Yes, we are getting to that. We are getting to that, C flat. So Yusuf, that is not G flat, because G is going forward as G sharp. Alright? So G is going forward. So all you need to do, just take that alphabet, move it forward, and add a sharp to it. It's that simple. No? G is coming here, then you add G sharp. So here now, we'll take it forward, then it becomes A sharp. Let me be sure you understand. Let me be sure you understand. You understand so far. Or if there is there anything that is still confusing, I will explain it properly. If anything is confusing, I will explain it. So, but if you understand so far, type that in the comments. Don't worry, Buddy Michael, we'll get to that point of C flat. Marlon Joseph, yeah, thank you. Keep tapping on the screen, yes. Then share the live. Let others as well benefit from this. Okay, Marlon Joseph understands. So the big crunk, do you understand so far? The big crunk. Do you understand so far? And Yusuf, do you understand so far? So if you're confused, Yusuf, I will still explain it so that you understand. So it's very simple. Look at all the alphabet. To get the sharp, just take the note forward. Note, take it forward, it becomes sharp. Exactly. So if you know this ones, you see this one, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. It's very simple. Just take this C forward, it becomes C sharp. Take this D forward, it becomes D sharp. You maintain the name. So this F, take it forward, it becomes F sharp. Take this G forward, it becomes G sharp. Take this A forward, it becomes A sharp. So do you understand now, Yusuf? Then before we move forward, we are moving to the flat now. So let me know if you understand, Yusuf. Okay, great, Yusuf understands now. So now for the flat now, we are using the same principle, but the flat now is going to be coming backwards. So sharp was going forward. So remember, sharp was going forward. Then this one is going backwards. So I mean forward is like this, then backward is like this. You understand? Maybe to the right and to the left. So this one is to the left. And this one is to the right. So to the right. Alright? So now let's start from this place because we are moving like this. So B will come back here. Just follow the principle. B comes back here. So we already have that note as A sharp, but it can also be B flat. So all you are doing is just bring that note backwards and add a flat to it. That's all. Take this alphabet, bring it back here and add flats to it. Becomes A flat. So that note can be called G sharp or A flat. The same thing. Take this note backward. We're bringing this G backward here. See that? G, then add a flat. Exactly. Exactly is directional. So you just have to follow it that way. So here, E, bring it backwards. E flat. So yes, Yusuf. Then D comes back, becomes E flat. So now we are going to answer Booty Michael's question. He was like, do we have C flat? So we're going to answer that question now. Now, but so far, do you understand how far we have gone now? Type that in the comments. Marlon Joseph, Booty Michael, Yusuf, and that big crunk. So type that in the comment now if you understand how far we have gone. So because if I get to this point now, this one will be a little bit confusing if you don't take, you're not careful. So type that in the comments. I see you, Yusuf. Yusuf say I understand. What keys do I play in order to play New Jeans Jesse Club remix? I'm not sure I know that song. Welcome. C flat will be D. No. Hi. Before Wood. Welcome. Thank you so much. All caught up. All right. I understand. Um, Marlon. Marlon, are you still here? So let's be sure you are following us. Okay, that big crunk. We're going to explain that part now. That big crunk. Marlon, are you with us? Do you understand so far before we move to the next? Because this next might be. How about rap God go Eminem? Right now we are just doing music lessons at the moment. Tracy William, definitely it's not like a big deal to learn those songs very quickly, right? It's very easy. But right now we have some other people as well watching, so we're just doing music classes today. So maybe in another live session, then we'll definitely be able to help you whatever song that gets you all the notes easily live here. So now thank you so much before Wood. So now here's the next thing we want to look at. Remember, any note can be sharp. Oh, you're a beginner. Okay, great. So stay on the live so that you can learn in the process as well. So any alphabet can go forward and any alphabet can go backward. That's okay. The big crumb. This is all the music theory that you probably need to learn as well. So you're already learning music theory technically. So remember this principle. Sharp will take it forward. Flat will take it backward. That's all you need to remember. So this principle can be applied to any alphabet. So C, when you use the C sharp, will go forward. And C flat will go backward. It's the same thing for all alphabets. B sharp goes forward. B flat goes backward. The same thing for C. C goes forward to C sharp, then C can go backward to C flat. You use the same principle. A goes forward to A sharp, A goes backward to A flat. It's that simple. The same principle for every note. So, Tracy William, where exactly are you watching from? Are you in the US? So, that's what that means. So now in this case now, let's try to get all the sharps and let's try to get all the flats. So this is D. Can F sharp, G, and F make a chord? We'll basically get to a chord right now. So we're just talking about scales so that we don't make it complicated than what it is. So you will have to start from scale before you get to a chord, because it's a scale that you build your chords from. All right, if that makes sense. So let's start from the scale. So D moves forward to this one as D sharp. Then if you look at this, D goes backward. Did I write E flat here? Not E, it should be D flat. So D flat. I think that's probably a mistake. Oh, Ghana. All right, that's good. That's good. That's good. So, Ghana, what's the time? The time in Ghana right now? What's the time in Ghana right now? So D goes forward to here as D sharp, and D goes backward to here as D flat. So now here's the principle. Let's go to the keyboard. Very simple. If I tell you to look for F sharp, what's the first thing you want to do? Look for F. Look for F. So this is start from C, because this is C. C is the white note before the two black keys. Start from C. Then think about your alphabet. A, B, C, D. So after C, D, E, F. So once you get F, the next thing you want to do is take that F forward. That's your F sharp. If that makes sense. It's that simple. F is before 3 black key. Exactly. That's another way you can see that as well. F is before the 3 black keys. Oh, it's 9:55 p.m. right now. So that's right where I am is I'm in the US. So it's like 4:55 right now. So that's like 5 hours difference. Alright, so 5 hours difference. So the reason why I asked the time is that every Monday and every Friday we intend to be having this free classes for you, Mondays and Fridays. Ghana time will be 8:30 p.m. 8:30 p.m. So that will be Ghana time. So now let's look at this again. So F is before the 3 black keys. C is before the 2 black keys. So if you can remember that, good for you. So if I say look for A flat, look for A first. So C, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. And go back to A again, A. So if you're looking for flat, once you get to A, just come backwards. That's your A flat. It's that simple. So now, let's answer Booty Michael's question. Is there anything like C flat? Yes, there is anything like C flat. Follow the same principle. It doesn't matter whether it's white or black. Follow the principle. So C flat. Look for C first. C, this is C. Then flatten it, bring it back. So it comes back here. It comes back to B. So people think there is no C flat because it's not a black key. It doesn't matter. It's also B flat. So remember, you as a person can have 2 names. You can have your English name and you can have maybe like your Ghanaian name, or you can have your French name. Do you understand? So you can have English name and a Ghanaian name. So it's the same thing. So there's no difference. So C is the same thing. C flat is the same thing as your B. So let's look at it clearly. So take note, C. So you see C here moves forward here as C sharp. So if C flat is supposed to be coming backward, but we don't have any notes there. So we skip that. So let's go to D. D we go up here as D sharp. D will go back here as D flat. The same thing. Go to E. Do the same thing. E will go here as E sharp. So it means E can also come here as E sharp. I'm sure a lot of people don't even know that there is even E sharp. There was a video I was doing one time, then somebody commented, was like, bro, what are you teaching? You're teaching what doesn't make sense. And there's no such thing as E sharp. So I can't blame the person because the person has never heard that before. But you know, some people can be sounding like they know what they know without even knowing what they know. What they think they know. So E goes forward as E sharp. So it means E sharp can also be called F. The same thing. So then E, bring it backward. E here becomes E flat. So let's go to F now. We're going to F. So bring F forward. It will bring you here as F sharp. B sharp is C. That's correct. You got it quickly. B, that's it. The B crumb. So it's very simple. Same principle. You got that right. The B crumb. So E, F goes forward here as F sharp. Then F will also go backward here as what? So what will F go backward as what? Let me be sure you're following. If F goes backward here what will it become? Type that in the comments. Let's be sure you're following. Because I see that big crown now got already caught the concept. F. So F will go back as F. No. F. Exactly. Buddy Michael got that right. So remember I told you this one is tricky. Yes. This one is tricky. That's why I wanted you to understand before I move to that one, because it's very tricky. So this F is the one that you are moving. You are not moving the E. So take note of the alphabet you are moving. That's what matters. So this F is the one moving back. So that's why it becomes F flat. So it's the alphabet that you are moving that matters. So let me know if that makes sense now. Type that in the comment. Type that in the comment if that makes sense. All right, you got it. Can you explain how a simple diatonic melody using tritone substitution without destroying the melody's function? So that's going to take us to another topic entirely today. So I can explain that, but right now we will not be able to go there because I have some other people as well watching from the other channel. So we don't want to make things confusing. So what you should do is make sure you have subscribed on my channel. Then if you have subscribed on my channel, then you go to the community tab. Go to the community tab. So if you search for my name, or what you can also do, I'm also streaming on Pentatonic KC. Right? I'm also streaming on Pentatonic KC on YouTube as well. So if you check that one as well, so either of the tab. So if you want to check on the pentatonic KC music lessons, you can also send message on the community tab. So you can type on the community tab telling me what you want to learn, so that once we come for a live stream, then we are able to focus on that. So we already have a schedule for today. All right, so let's move on. So let's move on. So if you notice now, okay, it makes sense now. So G is moving forward to G sharp, and G is moving backward to G flat. So this is A. A is moving here to A flat, A sharp, sorry. Forward is A sharp, then A is moving backward as A flat. So now let's get to B. So B is moving forward. So it's moving here. Remember, you're moving B as B sharp. Right? Then C is moving far backward. Alright, that's good, that big crown. So C is now going backward as C. So what is C going backward as? Let's be sure if you understand now. Type that in the comments. Yes, you can take a screenshot immediately so that you have that diagram. C flat, correct. Because you are moving C. So Buddy Michael, can you see where your C flat is now? Exactly. So Buddy Michael, I'm sure you understand it very well now. You understand it very well now. Let me know. So let me know if you understand it so far now, because I'll probably be cleaning this off now. Okay, you understand very well. Thank you so much, that big crunk. I do appreciate that feedback from you. Thank you. All right. So you guys should also make sure that since you're gaining this value as well, so your feedback as well, it's also an encouragement for us to keep this going on as well. And also, feel free to check out my other posts as well I've made as well that you find value from. All right, then you can also leave your feedback as well. That encourages one to go on creating things like this for you. So because um, making videos normally takes so much time, so much effort. So if people don't give feedback, it's like a waste of time. Can you explain middle C? All right. Thank you so much, Big Kronk. So let me know if I can clean it off. Then I'll explain the middle C. Then Tracy Williams is also talking about the tritone substitution. That's a very, very big topic. So because tritone, before we talk about tritone, you want to understand interlocks. So tell me, what instrument do you play, Tracy Williams? And what level are you playing music now? Alright, so I can clean it off. Okay. So let me clean this off. So tell me, what instrument do you play? Alright, so middle C is very simple. So if you look at my keyboard now, so you might not be able to see everything, I guess. So let me see if I can move it. Wow, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Marlon Joseph, for the 200 jewels. I do appreciate that. Thank you so much. Yes. So feel free to donate if you're finding this very, very valuable, because that's the only way you encourage what I'm teaching you, because these are things that you will pay. You will pay to get to learn. You get to learn from people, and at the end of the day, you pay to people that they might not give you this exact value that I'm giving you. So I don't just teach. I teach, and I also know what I'm doing. I perform. You understand? I've performed for years. You understand? So there's a huge difference. So I'm trying to see how to show you all the whole keys. Okay, piano and drums, but more onto drums. Okay, that makes sense. So if you don't play piano very well, teach on teach. Okay, I'm doing that. So if you don't play keyboard so well, my advice would be look at the basics. Look at the basics, because if your foundation is not good, then you will just keep gambling things. You keep trying things out and be going on the wrong direction. So now, why am I saying that? Because you can just give me any song, I will listen to it and I will figure out the notes. You understand? So at least to a reasonable extent. You understand? There are some that might just take you a little while for you to get to figure it out. But if you have perfect pitch, you will be able to just pick that out. So because, for instance, if you're playing with a band can give you like 200 to 300 songs that you go and learn. So how will you learn it if you're still struggling with 5, 10 songs, or even one song? So now let's talk about middle C. So the distance from this C to this C, all right? The distance from this C to this C is called an octave, all right? So how do you understand the middle C? Let's count the octave of your particular keyboard. Your keyboard. Let's count the octave of your keyboard. So let me see, because I'm trying to see, because we cannot get this whole thing, and give you an example. So what kind of keyboard do you use? Well, I don't want you to understand it that way, that the middle C is between the last two on the left octave and the two octaves on the right. I don't want you to understand it that way. We're doing music lessons. We're doing music lessons here. So I just wiped off the board. So right now we're trying to explain the middle C. So this is how I want you to understand it. Because we are using Yamaha PSR. Okay, great. So, and I guess your Yamaha PSR is like 5 octave. So for this, all you need to understand is from C, this C to this C, that's 1 octave. Okay, from this C to this C, that's 1 octave. Count the octaves. So this C to this C, I have 1 octave on this left. So that's 1. Then this C to this C, I have another octave. That's 2. From this octave, I have another one, which is 3. So let's take note. We're counting the octaves. So I have 1, I have 2, I have 3. So we have 1, C to C, that's 1 octave, C to C, 2 octaves, C to C, 3 octaves, C to C, 4 octaves, then C to C, 5 octaves. So I have C. So count from your C to your C. Focus on the C. Focus on the C. Because if you are playing a 5 octave keyboard, you would have 5 octaves. If you're playing, I think it's 6.5 octave or 7.5 on half. Then you also have like I think 8.5. So let me quickly check that. So because there are 61 keys and 76 keys, and I think it's 88 keys. I think so. So those are the 3 you have. So all you need to do is make sure you count the octaves. So once you count the octave, you look at what is in the middle. So in between all these numbers, the middle number is this. So that's what starts. Okay, what are octaves? So octave is when you start for a particular alphabet to the same alphabet in front of it. So it can be from any note. That's a good question, Tracy Williams. So those are the things you want to learn first before you get into things like tritone, because tritone is really advanced. So C to C is an octave. So it can start from any alphabet. D to D is an octave. So you can start from anywhere. F to F is an octave. So you can start from absolutely anywhere. So let me know if you understand that now. So it could be from any alphabet. So then in this case we are starting the octaves from C. C. So we are starting the octave from C. C. So check the octaves of your C. Alright. So now once you know the middle number, in this case I have 1 octave, 2 octave, and 3 octave. So my third, this one is going to be the one. That is my middle C. Now let me get my tablet. Let me quickly show you something. So is there a middle for all alphabets? So in this case now, middle C is what you want to worry about, because middle C is what you need when you are reading music on the stage. So that's the only thing you want to worry yourself about. So any other middle, to me, is just like, it's like a waste of time. So you don't want to worry so much about that one, because you don't really need it. Yes. So let me show you. So let me show you. All right. Let me show you. All right. So look at this one now. Oh. All right. So let's increase that. So look at this one now. For this one, is very small. So as you can see, they have different sizes. Different sizes. So that's why you don't want to just focus on your own keyboard alone. You see this one now, this C to this C, and this C to this C. Since you have two, this should be your middle C, because it's just two. So if you come here, so here we have 4 octaves. So here we have C to C, that's 1 octave. All right. Then here we have C to C, another octave. Then here we have C to C, another octave, and C to C. So this one is 4. So if we have 1 and 2 octaves, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 octave. So this is your octave. This is your middle C, and this one is your middle C. So your middle C is on number 2. Here, your middle C is on number 3. I feel like a baby. I've never heard of middle C. It's so much, I don't know. That's okay. The reason probably why you've not heard of middle C is if you don't read music. If you don't read music, you probably have not heard about it, because people just play music and they might not even be aware of the middle C. The only time when it's important is when you read music. So here now we have, this one is how many octaves? So we have C to C, that's 1 octave, C to C, then 2, then C to C, that's 3, C to C, that's 4, and C to C. So this one is 5 octaves. So which is what we already have here. So the middle C is on the 3rd one. So remember, the one we have circled, for instance, this is 2 octave. Let's say we have 2 octave here. This is C to C, 1 octave, then C to C, another octave. So it's going to be this one. So if we have 3 octaves, maybe let's say it starts from here, C to C 1, C to C 2, then C to C 3. So we should use this middle one, so which is going to be this one. That's what if we have 3 octaves. So for 4 octave, we have C to C, then C to C, then C to C, then C to C. So it's going to be on the third one, right? Then, so we've done 5 octave. Then let's look at after 5 octave. So if you look at this one, after 5 octave, we need to count. Remember, this one now starts from, it does not start from C. So this is the reason why I told you don't use
the last two octave on the left, because that will confuse you when you see like a grand piano or a keyboard that is bigger. So here now, this one starts from, so you see this one now, it starts from F. It starts from F. So now you have to look for the C. So this is the C, 1 octave, 2 octaves, 3 octaves, 4 octaves, 5 octaves. So you see 5. So in the middle of 5 is that same 3. So we look for the third, which is 1, 2, and 3. So we start from the C that starts the octave. So that's where you see your middle C. So if you look at the 88 keys, which is like almost the same size of your grand piano and your standard keyboard, 88 keys. So you see this one starts from A. So let's start from the C. So C to C, 1 octave, C to C, 2 octaves, C to C, 3 octaves, C to C, 4 octaves, C to C, 5 octaves, C to C, then 6 octaves. So since we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So our middle C is going to be around there. Alright? So it's going to be on the fourth one. So we start from here, 1 octave, 2 octave, then 3 octaves, then 4 octaves. So it's going to be this one here. Alright. So I know that's very hard to probably see. So type in the comment if you understand that so far. So type in the comment if you understand that so far. If that makes sense. Where's the color of this? So type in the comment if that makes sense so far. Alright, I see you, Marlon. That makes sense. I'm not sure the way to cover this. Alright, Buddy Michael says I understand so far. Type in the comment if you understand so far. Let's be sure we are on the same page. Alright, great. So, any other thing you want to know before we wrap it up for the day? Then we move into the next thing you have to be aware of in our next session, so which will be on Monday. So it's very important that you try to make it on time. Try to make it on time. For Buddy Michael, I think that should be 10:30. And try to be on 10:30. Then Marlon as well. Then 3:30. So try to be on time. So we start on time, because that's the you guys are the only reason I'm coming live for this day. Yes, like and subscribe as well. If you've not subscribed, make sure you click on that subscribe button. Then the big cross. What's the time? What's the time where you're watching from? North Carolina. What's your time there? Are you using Central? What time? What's your time now? Because right here I'm in Florida and it's 5:24 p.m. It's 5:20. Oh, we're on the same time. Okay, great. All right. So same time for Marlon, Joseph, and the Big Kronk. So we'll be doing this on Mondays and Fridays. So which will be 3:30 for your time, the Big Kronk, and 3:30 for Marlon Joseph as well. Then for hi Christine, how are you doing? Then for yeah, just give me a moment, then we can get into that, Christine. Then for Buti Michael, I think that's 10:30 p.m. Then what's what was her name the last time for the Nigerian time? That's 8:30 p.m. Then for the Ghana time, that is no, Nigerian time is 9:30 p.m. Then while the Ghanaian time is 8:30 p.m. So if you have any other questions, then you can ask that. Then if not, we'll move into that's going to be in our next session. Then we'll look at the next thing. So if you don't know how to read music, I'm going to teach you how to read music easily. So you don't worry too much about that. So also make sure if you like and subscribe, check my other content as well that you find helpful as well. Then engaging on the content as well. That's a way to show your support as well. Then I'll keep making good contents for you. And if you want to ask any question, let's say even if we're not live streaming, you can quickly just ask that on the community tab. So how do you post on the community tab? Just search for my channel. Search for my channel. Yes, okay, you saw it. So check for my channel. Then look for where it says community. Community. So it should be on my channel. So make sure you are on my channel. Look for where it says community. Then once you see the community, you will see write what's on your mind. You can type your question. So take note that any question you type, everybody's going to see that. So that's how you can also reach out. So now just to give you an idea so that you understand that a lot that you have to do performing music has a lot to do with your knowledge. So now we have Christian asking that I play some Nirvana. So now here's the thing. I will not be able to play the sound out because we don't want copyright issues with YouTube. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to listen to it with my ear, then play that on the spot. So I know this is going to help me on my beat. That's great. Yes, I want to start now, but I might miss something. Yes, it's going to help you whether you play drums or you play so how to search for my page? Just type my name, Pentatonic Casey, this same YouTube name, Pentatonic Casey. Search for it. Once you click on my name, then you go into that. Then that's when you can see community. So let me show you so that you understand. So if you go to your YouTube, just click on the search button. See, search. Then you type the name, Pentatonic KC. Pentatonic KC. So once you type that, then you click enter. Make sure it's Pentatonic KC you type. Then you will see the channel. It always brings out pentatonics. So click the one you're looking for, which is Pentatonic KC, not pentatonics. So once you click that, you will see my channel appears. So once that appears, see that, then you click on that. So it takes you into the page. Then, all right, so probably I'm already logged in, so let me use the other Pentatonic KC music lessons to do that. You can play covers. I think covers are okay. Yes. Oh, I can play covers. Okay. Yes, I can play covers. Oh, you play the drums as well, Christian. That's good. That's good. So once you search Pentatonic KC, I'm using under account so that I can see it as another account. So once you search that, you click on no, not pentatonic. So you see, I made that mistake. Make sure it's the one below, which is pentatonic KC, not pentatonics. So it always go there. Then you click on that. So once you are here now, you have to make sure you're subscribed. So let me subscribe and say turn on notification. Then turn on notification and choose OK. Subscribe. Okay. So for here it says post. So that's when you can see. But normally it should show you maybe because I just subscribed. So let me go back and switch again. And let me close and come back, maybe because I just subscribed. Because normally once you go there, you see the place that says community. So let me search again, and it's on the KC, from that, and go into the channel. Then normally it will show you community. So normally the community should be at the top here. So, or if you click on post, normally if you click on post, it doesn't show you where to write. So when you are subscribed, make sure you click on all. Then let's try that again. It's on the KC. Let me see, because I'm trying to. Okay, you said covers are okay. Okay, so I can do covers. The only thing I'm just trying to prevent copyrights, you know. So we can easily do playing like almost any song. I'm playing it out, even playing the original song. You understand? Oh, you're leaving, Christine. Okay, no worries. So click on that. So for some reason the community is not showing. Maybe because I'm live. I'm live now. Maybe that's why. So, but that's basically it. So, for instance, now let's say we are trying to play. Give me a song. You want me to quickly just check out. Then I'll show you how you can easily just figure out a song. Let it be like a regular song, not like a classical piece, because if you're doing classical pieces, then you have to take your time and go over the notes in a different way. So let it be like a normal regular song, like a pop song or a meatloaf. I'll do anything. So let me quickly search for that. Let me put that in my earphone. A rock song. It doesn't matter what kind of song. Let me disconnect my phone. I think my phone. Oh. Ooh. Give me 1 second. right, so let me disconnect this Bluetooth. And let me disconnect this Bluetooth as well. All right. Oh, it's a rock song. Okay, great. Meatloaf, I would do anything. So I just have to disconnect my other Bluetooth so that it doesn't go to my phone. All right, so now let me search for it. I can hear it now on my ear. So take note, I've never heard this song before. So Meatloaf, I would do anything. Oh, you want to make that piano in the beginning? I wanted you to do that. It's so bad. Okay, let's see. I would do anything. Meatloaf, I would do anything. Is it I would do anything for love? Because I see I would do anything for love here. Is it I would do anything? Oh, that one. Okay, all right. So let's play that. So I'll tell you on the process. So another way we can do this, if you want to see my process of how I'm looking at the song and learning the song on the spot, where we could do that is on TikTok. So where we could do that is on TikTok. So where we can play it out without, so you can see the process along the side. So maybe it's something we can also discuss that. We can discuss that on the community tab to probably say, okay, maybe we can do a day on TikTok where we can do that more practically. It could be maybe a Wednesday or another day or whatsoever. All right, so let's play that. So now listen to it again. The first thing, get the sound. So get the first one, which is pam 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 pam. So that's the first thing. So so I want to get the key, which when you have pam 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 pam. So because I have perfect pitch, I know where the key is. So the key should be pa pa. So that's what I'm looking for. Pa. So I'll look for it. Pa. So pa. That's what I'm looking for to get the key. So remember, I've not heard this song before. So you want to hear pam 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 pam. So then let me be sure I get the melody. All right, so we have. So let's use something that is close to the sound, because that's another thing, you have to use that exact sound. So for me to look for that exact sound right now, I would have to, that sound issue now, we'll not worry about that one, but let's use something like piano that is close. So that's the first step. So the next thing now, you have to try to figure out what else is happening. So I can hear, so, you understand? So because I can hear that note going on. So it could be like this. So so yeah. You understand? So now it is just you. Now what is helping me know this? There are so many things that is helping me try to figure it out. Remember, I'm not looking at the music sheet. No, I don't need that because I can hear notes, which is perfect pitch. So, which is something I can also teach you guys if you want to learn as well. So, thank you so much, the big crunk. So, which is something I can also teach you guys as well. So, if you have perfect pitch, you can hear a sound and be able to pick out what you hear. You understand? So, in this case now, you are at least playing something that is close to it. So there's a difference when you use your ear to hear a song and when you depend on music sheets. Now, music sheets might help you if you know how to read music, you understand, but the way it is being played, the live performance, and just hearing it or just probably just knowing the chords or knowing the notes is different. And that's all I want to do. Is get close. Exactly. So that's not a problem. So it's something that you have to be patient with the process. So you will not achieve it in 2 seconds. So that's why we're having those classes, maybe Mondays and Fridays, Mondays and Fridays. So if you guys want, you can also we can choose another day as well. Maybe like a Wednesday or so. That day is strictly for seeing how we learn music. But that will be on TikTok, not on YouTube. So where you can see how we go about the process clearly. Because you can also hear the music that I'm hearing. So it won't be this way, whereby I just listen to it alone. So that everybody that is watching, even if you have not heard the song before or you don't know the song, you can also understand, oh wow, okay, this is how you go about it. Because when you watch as well, it can also help you. The thing about Twitch, Twitch and YouTube are very strict when it comes to copyright issues. So that's the problem. So Twitch, I've actually not used Twitch before because I tried using Twitch. I think was it once or so. But I think Twitch, you have to probably be consistent on Twitch a couple of times because, for instance, I can't just come online. For instance, we have people that I'm speaking with directly. That's why we can do the session, getting the feedback. You are learning that, and I give you the feedback. You're giving me the feedback. I'm teaching you what you need to know. Once you have that particular feedback, it makes sense to go on with the classes like that. But once you don't have that response, it's like a waste of time. So just because I'm here now teaching you guys because I see you guys want to learn that, it's a need that you really want. So that's why we're able to we're making progress this way. Do you understand? So because if we want to say, okay, let's do on Twitch, we can do that, but at the end of the day, we still need to be sure that people are also going to be watching from that as well, if that makes sense. So basically, that's just to give you an idea of how that is being played. So like I said, if we're doing that on TikTok, yes, I think that makes sense. So we can add another day maybe like a Wednesday to learn music. So let's see if that works for you guys. That big crunk, um, um, Marlon Joseph, um, Buddy Michael, Marlon Joseph, Buddy Michael. So, but take note that is going to be on TikTok because that's the only place we can do it conveniently without interruptions. Do you understand? And without us having interaction or issues. So, um, let me see now. Let me see now. Because I have two different accounts. There's a pentatonic KC and there's a pentatonic KC music lessons. Buzzing sound. Do you hear a buzzing sound? Do you hear a buzzing sound on the live stream? Is it sounding like something is buzzing on the background? Oh, there's no buzzing sound. Okay, there's no buzzing sound here. So maybe if buzzing sound might be coming, maybe it might be on pentatonic KC music lessons. So because it might probably be from this phone, maybe, I'm not so sure. So I guess you guys on this other stream might not be hearing that. So because currently now I'm on um, I'm on pentatonic KC music lessons and I'm also on pentatonic KC. So that's probably the difference. Oh, okay. So it sounds great on the other side. So why? Maybe this is where you hear the buzzing sound. So let's make a decision if we want to do Wednesday. Oh, you hear it, but it's faint. Okay, that's good. I think it's probably my light because my light is close to the phone. So you know all these lights they sell, they what do you call it, the engine of the light makes so much noise. So maybe next time I'm going to move it backwards so that you don't hear so much noise. So I've moved it a little bit backwards. So probably now the sound, that buzzing sound should have. Oh, you had to crank it up to hear that buzzing sound. So maybe now it should be off now because I've pushed it a little bit away from the phone, at least to a reasonable extent. So I think it should be away now. So, so what do you guys think? Are you planning for Wednesday? So if you're planning for Wednesday, do you want to do that on the same time? Then also let me see. Yes. So we can do that on TikTok. So because I have two different accounts, so which is okay, it's perfect now. Okay. So we can do that on TikTok. So I have two accounts. There's a pentatonic KC as well. So we can also log in there. Then we have pentatonic KC music lesson. It doesn't matter. So search for me pentatonic KC. Then you can add me on TikTok. Then if Wednesday works for you, type that in the comment, let us know. So if you're going to plan for Wednesdays for looking at music. So type that in the comment if that works for you guys. Alright, if that works for you on Wednesday, so we do that on TikTok. type that in the comments. And if same time works for you as well, then if we're going to be doing that, so make sure you have to check on the community. I'm also going to type that in the comments, in the community tab. So maybe because I'm live now, that's why I cannot see the community tab showing. But I will show you then. You should know how to post your questions. So if you have any idea, any song you're thinking in mind we have to learn, it's better you probably start thinking of the song then before that Wednesday, so that we can have that ready and just move on schedule, if that makes sense. So same time. So how does that work for you? The big crown, that's 3:30 your time. So think watching from North Carolina. So 3:30 your time. So how does that work for you on Wednesday? So how does that work for you? So make sure you get TikTok, then search for me Pentatonic KC, then add me, then we can plan for Wednesday. So before Wednesday, we still have Monday for our next session right here on YouTube. So if you have any questions as well, feel free to type that in the community tab. All right, feel free to type that in the community tab. So that will be all for today. If you have no other questions, then I will see you guys on Monday. All right, no worries. All right, Marlon Joseph, have a very good one. So I'll see you on Monday, Buddy Michael, the Big Kronk. I'll see you guys on Monday. Have a blessed one, okay? And I'll see you, Christian, and you too. Thank you so much. Be well as well. I will see you, Christian, on Monday.